The elemental reaction system in Genshin, which as the name says, is where one element reacts with another to make something happen. Be it more damage, debuffs on the enemy, etc., is what makes Genshin's combat so unique. There have been standout reactions such as Vaporize, which increases Hydro's damage by 2 times, and Hyper Bloom, which allows mediocre characters to deal a lot of damage with only elemental mastery. But there have also been lackluster ones. Since patch 1.0, Electro-Charged, Overloaded, Superconduct, and Shatter have been so mediocre that no one really uses them. They don't really buff the element like Vaporize or Melt, but rather just deal separate damage. Electro-Charged occurs with Electro and Hydro, and it deals damage over time. Overloaded occurs with Pyro and Electro, and it creates an explosion which annoyingly somehow knocks enemies back. Superconduct is when Cryo reacts with Electro and deals damage, but also reduces the enemy's physical resistance. Finally, Shatter happens when you hit an already frozen enemy with physical or geo damage. All these reactions are affected by the level and elemental mastery of characters causing the reactions. That said, unlike Dendro, their multipliers were just so bad that it was not really worth stacking elemental mastery to boost that damage. In 5.2, this finally changed. HOYOVERSE buffed Electro-Charged, Overloaded, Superconduct, and Shatter multipliers to make them deal a lot more damage. Obviously, they did this because of the newly released Ororon's kit, which relies on Electro-Charged reactions. But this also makes some older characters a lot more viable. But first, let's observe the damage difference with the same teams and builds on 5.1 and 5.2 after the change. As you can see, Electro-Charged damage actually increased. The previous multiplier was 1.2, but around 2.0 now. As for Overloaded, let's take a look too. Damage increased from 7918 to 10,887 as the multipliers increased from 2 to 2.75. You may realize that I only mentioned Overloaded and Electro-Charged, but not really Superconduct and Shatter. Well, while these reactions are stronger now, there aren't many physical DPSs out there. Eula, who relies on Superconduct, doesn't really get her personal damage improved. The only one who truly benefits is Femine from Shatter reactions, but unfortunately, not many bosses out there can be frozen, which sort of reduces the viability, and it's honestly hard to get the Shatter damage in the first place. All in all, this makes certain teams become more viable. So, let me recommend them to you. For the first, I'm gonna have to go with Yoimiya Overload with Fischl, Yoimiya, Chevreuse, and Bennett. Chevreuse buffs the Pyro and Electro, Bennett buffs attack, while Fischl provides the Electro application. Now, Yoimiya has always been pretty good with Overload since her arrows don't really mind the flying enemies as much. The new buff makes her deal definitely more damage than previously. You can also swap Yoimiya for the newly released Arlecchino, as her personal damage is already so high, so adding the increased damage of Overload will make her become even stronger. That said, you can choose to use Thoma instead of Bennett here, so that at least Arlecchino gets a shield, since she can't get any healing. Finally, for Electro-Charged, I would go with the team of Yelan, Sucrose, Xingqiu, and Fischl. Yelan and Xingqiu provide the Hydro application and also deal massive damage with their elemental burst. Fischl on the other hand does the same thing by applying Electro, and Sucrose can swirl these reactions to trigger more of the Electro-Charged and also buff the team's elemental mastery. Of course, the best character for this is Ororon, who is built for this. I unfortunately do not have him, but if I did, I would recommend a team of Fischl, Ororon, Xingqiu, and Sucrose. You can also go with Kokomi instead of Xingqiu if you'd like. With that, we've come to the end of today's video. What do you think? Did you know about the changes to the elemental reactions? And will you start using them from now on? Do let me know down in the comment section below. If you have made it this far, do consider leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't, as it would really help out this small channel to get to its next goal of 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much and see you soon! If you'd like to see which standard banner character is the most worth it to build, please click the video on the right. If you'd like to see my other Genshin Impact videos, please click the playlist on the left. Once again, thank you so much for watching and see you again next time. Bye bye!